Hi and welcome to Dressage and Lightness Online. I'm Leanne Williams and we've got Maddie here this morning and we're going to do the education of the mouth process into the in-hand process into a little bit of walking today. So we know that he has a tendency to get heavy and we know that yesterday from what we did he was significantly improved in the in-hand work, so I'm really excited about that. So let's get going with the education of the mouth. I just want to tick a few boxes here before we move forward to the in hand and make sure that we've got the good contact and the good balance. We'll stand him up and put him in a nice position. There we go. We can see we've got the straight front legs. That's exactly what we want. Loop in the rein, first finger in the bit. Now he's always very quick to invert, so that means make the muscles on the top line shorter than the muscles on the bottom line. So it's important to allow the telescoping of the neck to have a 90-degree angle between the base of the jawline here and the base of the neck, and that I'd also like to have this line of the shoulder parallel with this line of the jaw. So first of all we're looking for contact, which is mobility of the jaw. That's coming much easier. Then I'm looking for balance. He's standing in a better position. Now I'm going to come down with the right, good boy. Just that the head and neck become a little bit more independent. You can see I already start to get this telescoping. This starts to let go at the base of the neck. So to do the rebalance, I come down with my right hand, up with my left, and I keep the 90-degree angle. Very important. Now there he goes to invert, so I keep going, no, 90-degree, no, 90-degree, no. And now he's not rebalancing. Good boy, there he goes. Then I can go for the bend. And I bend him so that he's 90 degrees, to his body. That's fabulous. And then we go the neck extension. So close, release. He was a little slow with this yesterday. Close, release. Close my right hand, lift my left. Good, close them together, release. On the release, I want the stretch. So everything happened a little faster today. That's really good for Maddie. Let's do the same thing to this side. It's hard with all the mane, but you'll be able to see the telescoping look of his neck. Need to make a loop. Good. The mobility happens as soon as I picked up the rein, so that's perfect. Now, that's him inverting. So I just say, stay here with me, 90-degree angle. You can see through here, and no. And now I'm rebalancing without him inverting. Good. Good. Independent neck, so I can get the bend quite easily. There he goes. You can see the left bend. You can see this as we do the left bend. Look at the muscles sticking out up here. We've switched them on. This has come all loose. Good. And the neck extension. Good. Good boy. There we go. So we do the action reaction. He's slow here. Good, and release and close. It's only a light pressure into the corners of his mouth. We're not pulling him down with the left hand. There we go. He's got a stretch. Much better. So everything happened much quicker than yesterday. That's very, very exciting. Right, let's go for a little walk. We'll do left rein first. There's the inversion. So I rebalance him. It just tells me that he's coming over the sternum. Rebalance. Good. And walk forward. So he was interesting in regards to the whip in that he's slow to respond to things, like a little switched off, but in regards to the whip he was overreactive. Don't have an answer to that. Just know that he needs, that's falling forward, so I'd need him to walk on without shifting. You can see how he shifts forward first. Hind leg. Good, we want the hind leg, Good. Nope. It actually was the left hind that went first, but it gives you a big weight in your hand. Yeah, I bet. So I don't want the shift of balance into your hand. Yeah, as he walks off. Nope, very heavy. He's got, nope, very heavy. Rebalance, 90 degrees. Rebalance, good boy. He's not to get that heavy, so he's actually heavier than he was yesterday. Good, there's my telescope. No. Nope, there he goes. You can see the lean forward first. Good, open. There he wants to go pole flexion, so I just lift that bit. Nope. Good. Good. Yeah, oops, and he's leaning. Very heavy. That's a boy, so I say, nope, very heavy. Very heavy. Nope. So I need him to think about flexing the pelvis a little bit more here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to use my body language. You can see I've turned backwards. Very heavy, very heavy, very heavy. So I'm going to go into the action reaction. Let's change tactics. Good. And hind leg. Action reaction. Action reaction. Lengthening the neck. So he gets strong because he shortens his neck up. Nope. Action reaction. Lengthen the neck. Good. Good, this is what we did yesterday. It's got, yeah, there we go. That's the first step that he hasn't leant. Good. So I did something different today and I started him in the higher position, but that's twisted, it's probably not the right word, it's triggered him back to his old habits of shortening his neck, not lengthening his neck and using his core muscle. Action, reaction, stop. And walk on. Very good boy. Good, and it's important that we have, every time he comes high in his neck, yeah, he gets strong. So he's joining those two things together. We need to shift that around, that he comes high, yeah. There he goes, strong again. Well, we stop. Rebalance. Lengthen. Walk on. Till he's strong enough in his core muscles. Bring his head to a higher position. There we go, that's easier now. And it not involve loading up the shoulders. Now. Good. And rebalance, that's the boy. And lengthen. Yeah, action, reaction. Yeah, action, good boy, Henry. Come forward. Now I get to use my mirror here and see how straight his head is. That's really important. Now I'm bringing him up again. Good. Good, and the half circle change direction. Good, and the stop. No. In recollection from yesterday, I remember he had a little bit more trouble, walking on this direction with the long neck. Stop. Long neck, good. So I don't want him to use his neck as a balance tool. I want him to use his neck as a independent part of his body as he's working, not as a connected part as for leverage. This is good. So then I can start to work on the hind legs and get the hind legs to do a better job, an easier job, more pushing job. That's it, that's the job of the easy, and I've got him into a medium position now. I couldn't do it today. Super. Walk him to the mounting block. We're going to have a little ride. Good. Very good boy. Hold 2 steps too early. Good boy. Hi, now we're on Maddie, and it's time to start to work some of those exercises that we just did in the education of the mouth and in the in-hand work. So what I'm going to do from the beginning, I'm going to test out his responses. The first thing I would like to see is contact. And so what happens with him straight away is that you pick up the reins and he goes, pole flexion. I don't want pole flexion. There's the mobility. I would like the mobility of the jaw. So what I want to do is break my hand just a little bit, turn my thumbs out. Yeah, and there's the mobility. Very good. So I want to know that he will just relax his jaw, remembering straight away it relaxes the base of the neck. Then he also inverts a little, if you can see that. So I'm going to come a little wider and then narrow again. Yeah, good. The next thing is the balance. I would like to feel that I can tip my thumbs back towards my chest. There's the inversion that he does in hand. Good. And I'd like to feel, shorten the rein up a little bit, so tip my thumb back again. There we go. That we just shift that body back just a little bit. So he gets very quick to this high inverted position, and that's because he shortens his neck up. So we have to keep working on the action reaction. Good. And again, want the rebalance. Yeah, good. Now we're going for the bend. Round to the right, lift my right hand, shorten the rein, lower. Good. And then I'm going to hold him, ask him to hold this right bend just for a moment. My hand quiet. I'm looking for the left shoulder to be slightly in front of the right shoulder. Yeah, good boy. Then I'm going to quietly bring him around, slide my whip underneath my right thumb, lift my left hand. Good. And the rebalance within the bend, because I can feel him pulling forward. Good boy. Good. Good. So we check out the lateral flexibility from the saddle. Good. And then come straight. And then I'm going to go for the action reaction. Yeah. How effective has that been? I may not be able to do it because he's so quick to invert. His muscles aren't developed enough to keep him long. Good. Action, reaction. Yeah, good. There he goes. Right, so this is the posture that we'd like to walk from. Okay, so now let's, oh, good boy. Okay, that's lovely. So this is the walk with this longer neck. Okay, so now he's not leaning. This is good. And I can feel he wants to, so I'm going to walk on a square, lift slightly, send him off my leg aid, change my whip over, lift slightly, send him off my leg aid, make a square, you can see him from the side, lift slightly, good, send him from my leg aid, so I've got to keep the 90-degree angle. Now it's very difficult to see that 90-degree angle from here. Lift slightly. Lift slightly, good, and the turn. Excellent, and again, lift slightly and the turn. Preparing for it, a little bit of right bend, lift slightly, and stop, rebalance, good boy. Ask him to come a little bit longer. Good, I don't want to carry him at all. I want to feel like my elbow can move back and forward. There he goes, not carrying you, I'm not carrying you. Lift, rebalance, walk forward from the hind legs. Good, this isn't a game of me carrying him. And rebalance, yeah, and walk forward. And now I'm going to add a circle into the right, just a small circle. Right bend, rebalance, good, walk forward, turning, and rebalance, walk forward, turning, and rebalance. So as soon as you go the circle, it puts them back to thinking about using their shoulders to walk. I don't want to get the rein any shorter. Yeah, and rebalance and walk on the hind legs. Good boy, and rebalance and walk on the hind legs. Excellent. Really good. That's a better walk. It allows me to move my elbows back and forward without, every time we have the forward movement, he pulls the reins out of my hand. Good, rebalance and walk forward. Rebalance and walk forward. And oops, there, he got me, he pulled me straight out of the saddle. Rebalance, walk forward off the hind legs. Oops, there he goes again. Rebalance, walk forward off the hind legs. Good, and again, rebalance, walk forward off the hind legs, so we don't, it's not one step that he takes that I'm carrying him. Good, rebalance, walk forward off the hind legs. Good boy. Good, and walk forward. Good, rebalance. Walk forward off the hind legs. And rebalance. Walk forward off the hind legs. Fabulous. So all we're doing is repeating the same thing over and over again, the same as I did with the cavesson, same as I did with the in-hand work. Now we bring it into using the education of the mouth process and walk forward off the hind legs. And he's got to use those legs. And so the 4 stages of our system start to join together. Good, walk forward. We just repeat it tomorrow. We'll add the trot in. And the rebalance, good, and walk forward. He's getting quicker at walking forward, and as he walks he's telescoping. Good boy. And walk forward, well done. There he goes again, 90-degree angle. And so what you've got to do from up here is look at it in your mind's eye. That's the hard part. The mind's eye. What can the mind see? Can it see the 90-degree angle? What you're looking for in the rebalance is the headpiece of your bridle and the thickening on either side of these muscles that we've been looking at from the ground. You can see them thicken. There they are there, rebalance. I can see the headpiece. If the headpiece gets lower than the crest, and again, rebalance. Good, walk forward. Excellent. Walk forward. Walk forward. Good. Good. Rebalance. Walk forward. Rebalance. Yeah. Walk forward. So there's lots of repetition in here, but we've got to create a new pattern for him to move. And what I'm feeling is that I get better and better, longer and longer periods with a better feel. Good. Good. And walk forward. Come on. And walk forward. Yeah, good boy. Come on. Walk forward. No. No. So he went off his side. He'll be getting tired now. So I'm just making my way up to the centre again, but he's going to do it properly. And walk forward. Good, so we're going to walk up here. And we're forward to halt. Good. So he's halted in a nice telescoping of the neck. That's great. So that's Maddie's session for today. We're going to do some more of that tomorrow. We'll flick through everything a little bit more briefly again, and then we'll get into the trot work. So we'll see you again tomorrow.